We got this little special treat for you today. We ran into this fellow in Hastings last week. His name is Bruce Bauer, and he made this really cool rat rod out of a manure spreader. We showed you a couple little quick pictures of that before, and he's going to give us the opportunity to take us through this village that his brother owns. This is a really cool place. Really got a lot of history going out. Pretty much a town in the middle of private property. Really cool place. He's going to give us the opportunity to take us around, and we're going to do a little walk around of his car, and we'll follow him down. We're going to go do this in front of Porky's, an old restaurant that was notorious Hot Rod Alley in St. Paul, Minnesota. Just a fantastic cool place. We used to go down there all the time on Friday, Saturday nights and hang out. Well, this is all put back together up here, and he's going to give us the opportunity and take us through this a little bit. We'll get down there and take some pictures and do a little walk around of his car. He can tell us what that's all about and take us through this town a little bit. And thanks a lot, Bruce, for having us out here and giving us this opportunity. I really appreciate it. This is a really cool thing. And why don't you come on along with us? Bruce took us over to the Chevy garage right here. We're going to stop at the Chevy garage before we head on over to Porky's. Bruce, why did you build a rat rod out of a manure spreader?
Well, about 4 years ago, I started on a project that was a '63 Chevy short box pickup, and it took 4 years to build it and 3 trucks to round up all the parts that I needed to build this, and I even actually bought a cab from Texas for the truck. So I junked out 3 trucks to put one together, and it's hard to do nice. It's a lot of work, body work and stuff, so I wanted to build a rat rod and this time, and I wanted it to be different, and so instead of a car body, I used a manure spreader. And on building this whole thing, my criteria was that either everything I challenged on it, windshield or whatever it be, shifter or whatever, it wasn't going to be chromy, it wasn't going to be new, it was going to be something from the farm, or it was going to be an antique item. So that was my criteria.
So Bruce, take us through a little walkthrough about this and let us know what you've used here on this thing.
I started out with a '93 Chevy pickup, and all I used out of that was the frame and the brake booster. And the sweet thing about that is you end up with power disc brakes and power steering and parts available for it. I put a 350 Chevrolet motor in it, which is nothing out of the ordinary. It's got Vortec heads on it, and with 350 turbo hydromatic automatic transmission. On the front here, you'll see I used a radiator off in an old G model. It's a Minneapolis Marine tractor. I used the old radiator from that. I got a copper tea pot. That's my overflow.
Nicely done.
I got hideaway headlights in John Deere corn planter boxes. And I stabilized the headlights, and I have adjustment here for adjusting the height of my high beams. And I stabilized them with antique old wrenches with a threaded rod for adjustments in it. I'll step out of the way here. For the fan shroud, I used a wash tub. A lot of people had wash tubs back in the day, but they're not used very much anymore, so that was antique-y. On the top here, instead of having a blower, which I really like engines with blowers on, I thought my air cleaner would look good with a surge milking machine on it. This is what my dad used to have 3 of these, and he milked 43 cows. I actually took 2 weeks ago and I rebuilt the pulsator on it, so when my engine's running, which we can do later, it actually does vacuum, it does milk, it gives you the feel of what milking machines, how they operated. Right here you'll see 4-tine pitchforks. Because I have 4 cylinders on each side of the motor, I utilized a 4-tine pitchfork to hold my spark plug wires so they don't land the manifolds and get burnt instead of the nowadays plastic, new ones. For a dash here, I built a dash out of standing seam old roof tin, and it gives me the old rusty effect. My tachometer, which you can't see from that side, but the back of the tack here, I threw away the chrome part and I put the tachometer in the bowl that the water from the old pump jack used to go into, and then it would go to the cow tank or to the cistern.
Nice.
The windshield is in a cow stanchion. That's what the cows would put their head in. It's turned crossways instead of standing up and down like it used to be in the barn.
I noticed you have a windshield wiper also.
Windshield wiper,
functions.
yes, windshield wipers. You must have one windshield wiper and it cannot be manual. I did the MSRA 23-point inspection and I passed all 23 points. My mirror brackets, I used horseshoes for mirror brackets. For my dash here, if you want to step around here, for my dash here, I used a 2-man crosscut saw. And you will see in the pictures later the gauges are all cut into the dash. I put a shotgun on this side for my wife so she can truly ride shotgun. And for exhaust, I took milk cans and I built a baffle in the milk can. My exhaust comes into the milk cans, one on each side, and to extend it back far enough to be legal, I use 7-inch tailpipes. For the backrest in the seat to be safe, so when I accelerate and that 4-barrel kicks in, I don't tip over backwards, I got 5-tine pitchforks. And on top of the forks, so they're not sharp, I use the horse hanes from the horse harness. For my steering wheel, I use the gear that used to drive the spreader off the rear tire. And for my shifter here and my parking brake, I used a adjustment lever from the horse-drawn cultivator. For my gas pedal, I used a treadle from a New Home sewing machine, and for my brake pedal, I used a horseshoe. I got a toolbox, I call it a glove compartment there, that is often a John Deere McCormick Deering corn binder. And here's the sides of the New Home sewing machine that I used for the treadle out of, and I use them for a backrest on my rear passenger seats, which I've got toilet seats, cushioned toilet seats.
Why don't you start this thing up for us? Let's hear this thing running. Yeah, it definitely sounds pretty good. Well, that's pretty cool, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we are. We're having a blast out here. And now we're going to head over to Porky. Really want to thank you, Bruce, for having us out here. It's just been an absolute pleasure. Bruce Bauer with his rat rod, his brother Steve, we ran into him out here and he showed us some of the things out here. Literally, you could spend a week out here. It's got so much cool stuff, so many different buildings out here. This is well above our wildest imaginations that we were expecting to run into tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed this whole visit, and I hope you guys will have us back sometime so we can do this again. This is a fantastic place, and we'd like to touch base and show you guys a little bit more of it. And thanks again, Bruce, for having us out.
Sounds great. Thank you. Thanks for coming.